you get spoiled. And but so we didn't have any text at the time, so I had broken a string during our set, and Jason's just standing there with this beautiful white Gibson Firebird, and he just hands it to me, and he's like, here, just like switch out and do that. I'm like, okay, cool. In between songs, I'm thinking that I'm just borrowing his guitar, so I go after our set to go give him back this beautiful guitar, and he's like, oh no, that's yours, I bought that for you. And I'm like, what? Wow. And so I asked him, I said, well, what can I do for you? And he said, well, when you get to a certain point where people are being influenced by you, and you meet a young guitarist that really inspires you again to play guitar, pay it forward. So I got this opportunity on our last tour, because Danny from The Warning is an incredible guitar player, to the point that like I'm literally watching her every night, and I told him, just like, I need to go over my scales. I need to get better.
And she's about 19, right?
Yeah, she's like, they're so tiny, and I'm like, so
tiny and fierce.
So tiny and fierce. Yes. Oh, so tiny and vicious. And so I ended up finding this beautiful white Gibson Explorer. Thanks to the Gibson people for helping me scour the earth for it, because I knew what I wanted to get her. And I was originally going to give her one of my signatures, but then I'm like, no, it has my signature on it. Like, I want something that like she can just call her own. So anyway, I digress, but I ended up handing her this guitar in the middle of her set. Same thing that happened with me and Jason Todd. And same thing, she thought I was just letting her borrow one of my guitars. So she literally asks me, it's the same conversation.
Wow.
All these years later, she's like, oh my gosh, really? Like, this is mine? Oh my gosh. And she's crying in my shoulder, and then her parents are crying, and she's like, same thing, what can I do? I'm like, well, when you get famous and have all these little girls that are looking up at you, and you find a young, girl that inspires you, pay it forward. And she's like, I will, I really will. And it's like,
and it's so beautiful.
Go. You gotta go.